Welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about staying true to your style while pursuing your goals, your dreams, anything big you're working on. This is one of the most important aspects because if you're not staying true to yourself and your style, there's going to be a lack of authenticity. People are going to see through it. If you don't fit the part, they're not going to want to do business with you. They're not going to want to communicate or listen to you in the same way. So staying true to you and your style is critical. It takes a minute to develop this. It's a skill because you have to be comfortable with yourselves. And sometimes, especially with style, people don't always love your style. There are people I see all the time on the street where I think, wow, their outfits are crazy. But even though I might think that, I still respect the hell out of them because they're walking with a smile, head held high, and you can see their confidence. And I respect that style, and it makes me want to talk with them as an individual. So even though your style might not be someone else's and they might not get it, if you're authentic and true to yourself and style, they're going to want to talk to you and they're going to listen to you, they'll trust you, and they won't be as guarded. So when I think about staying true and how I developed this over time, it started early on when I first got into fashion because a lot of people don't know this, but I started off in the corporate world and it took me a few years to get into fashion. And I think part of those few years was learning about my style and that I didn't always fit nicely in the corporate world. I challenged people at an early and young age. I, asked questions that people didn't want to talk about. I'd be the one saying, "Why are we having these meetings?" It blows my mind how many people waste so many hours of the day at their corporate jobs in meetings that they don't need. Standing meetings? Are you kidding me? And so when I think about that and how I transitioned, that was me learning that it's okay to be your own person and to be yourself. And then I was introduced and met somebody that kind of gave me the space to be myself and encouraged me to dress how I wanted, to act like I wanted, that it was okay to be as goofy as I was in public. I think that was a big thing for me. Growing up, it was really important in my house so I have three brothers, and God bless my parents. And I think it was so important that we always looked our best wherever we went. And I still love that my parents instilled that in us. And really my mom, the focus was so important to have a great first impression. And I always thought about this, and I think that led me to kind of hone in my goofiness because I didn't want people to think less of me or think, oh, he's not serious. But when I was given that space, especially as an adult, to be goofy and to let loose and to be myself, I found that people really appreciated it. And that's when I started saying, okay, I can do more of this. So I started dressing the way I want to. I started acting the way I want to. I stopped allowing others to control what I was thinking and doing. And that's style. And that's what I want to help get across. And a big reason I'm doing this podcast and I'm here with you. Staying true to your style while pursuing greatness is critical. Being yourself is the only way you're going to reach those goals. Because again, it's about that authenticity. It's about people trusting you, believing you, wanting to work with you. For me, it's become more and more important that my style, it starts with clothes, sure. And I know this is all about style is, everything, and it goes beyond clothing, and it is. But for me, my outfits are my entry to some of my lofty, crazy dreams and goals. And I think the bigger your goals and dreams are, the loftier and the more work you have to put in to be yourself and stay true to that, because it's really easy to conform and kind of like shrivel up if you don't believe in it and believe in yourself. And style makes me comfortable. So even with all the uncertainty and chasing big dreams, like the venture we're trying to make House of Style into, it's an enormous idea, and it's completely different than what retail is today, what shopping is today. And I'm going against all the possible norms. To do that, I have to know that this is going to work and that my style is going to give me the confidence. It's going to make me comfortable to get there. So staying true to your style is about being comfortable with yourself and being confident in yourself so that you know what you're doing is right. And that's what's going to help you get to the next stage. So how do you take practical steps to ensure that those pursuits reflect your style and your values? So really, my biggest thing is to start small. Starting small is the easiest way to create momentum. And that's what we're really going for. Action is made easier by more momentum. So many people have ideas, great ideas. Doesn't matter how wonderful or not your idea is. If you're too scared to try it, you're not going to go for it. If you don't believe you can make it happen, well, then it's not going to happen because you probably won't start. So the first step is to start small. Know what your skill is. Know something that you can do that's going to make the next step easier. If you're an entrepreneur and you are trying to start a pet grooming service, find a way to get that first customer, and then make sure you take pictures and you put it on social media and that you're doing all the things. But start small. Don't try to open, a big store and do this huge launch with a PR campaign and think that, oh, if I had $10,000 to do X, like that's going to be the answer, because it's not. And so many entrepreneurs, and so many young entrepreneurs especially, I think believe and think the what if, like what if I had this, or what if this person, posted about me, or if I got on this show or blog. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. Start small, make one thing happen. Whatever you're great at, do that. Get people to buy into that, whatever it is. If it's a groomer, if it's just an idea at work, whatever it is, start small. I even take one step further and I think, okay, I have to get here for this goal. And the ideal first step from a business perspective might be about here. What it all goes back to for me in my head is it goes back to people and how I'm treating people and how I'm making them feel, the impression that I'm leaving them with. And I think your first impression and your reputation are two of your most important assets. Your reputation precedes you before you enter the room. Your first impression is what people change people's behavior, changes the way they interact with you, the way they listen to you, trust you. And then your reputation and that first impression stay with them long after you're gone. And the way you make people feel stays with them. So for me, I kind of bring everything back to what small thing can I do to make everyone happier and like me and want to do business with me. My practical step, start small and also make people smile. Not just because I'm trying to get a laugh or a compliment or whatever it is. I genuinely enjoy making people smile. It makes me smile. It puts everyone in a better mood. And when we let our guards down, people open up and become more vulnerable. And that's where magic happens. It's where business happens. It's where everything happens. So if you're starting small, doing the best you can do in whatever it is that you want to be doing, and you treat people kind, those are two really simple steps and practical ones to ensure that your pursuits are reflecting your personal style and values. For me, it also goes along the line of embracing your personal style in all aspects of life. Because when you don't have to turn on or turn off your style and you're just living stylishly in whatever it is, not about the clothes, that's when the magic happens. That's really when it kicks in, and you'll start to see a lot of momentum, and you'll take even more action from that. For me, embracing personal style in all aspects of life, it covers business, it covers the podcast, how I talk with people every day and how I interact with them, the silly way I'll dance in a store or make a dad joke with a barista at a coffee shop. It's how I parent, it's how I am as a dad. My dad identity is so unbelievably important to me, and it's a huge part of my style. I love my two daughters so much, and I'm the classic parent that will talk about them all the time. But I also believe that my style shouldn't be tossed on them, and that's part of my parenting style. Everything you do reflects your style, how you parent, how they learn from you. And this necklace, it's my favorite. I wear it every single day. It has the word dad etched in it, and it's D space A space D. And the spaces in between each one reflect what I don't know about being a dad and a father to them, and all the things that I can learn and all the love I have to fill that space with. And for me, that's what being a dad is about. I take that and I put that joy and passion into everything I do. I talk about my kids. People feel at ease when I'm being the real me and I'm talking about them. I do the same thing with my kids, my wife, my family. I'm so proud that I got my entrepreneurial spirit from my mom. She started every business you could. She ran my favorite, it was called University Avenue back in the day. It was a collegiate apparel and accessory store, and it was the place to go, especially when we were in high school and all our friends were in high school. It's where you went to get all the gifts, and I loved when people would go to it or tell me they went to it. Being an entrepreneur is part of my family. In fact, all three of my brothers have their own businesses. We are all entrepreneurs. It's so cool, and it's become part of each of our identities. And entrepreneurship is often a really lonely space. I was reading an article that McKinsey came out with today, actually, about CEOs and their advice on kind of how to be a successful CEO and overcome the challenges you face. And a ton of the respondents, like the majority of them, reported feeling lonely. And these are CEOs of huge companies. So whether you're running a big company, a small company, or you're just getting started, entrepreneurship can be lonely. And when you surround yourself with people that get it and share aspects of your style and of your identity, it creates an awesome thing that adds to that momentum and action you can take. Sometimes when I'm feeling discouraged, I'll talk to one of my brothers, toss an idea out at them, and see what they send back. Oftentimes, what I find is that they help you get through what doesn't make sense to what does, and then encourage you to go do something. And that's what I try to do for everyone I talk with, everyone I work with. I want to create action. I believe that too many people complain, too many people think about things and don't do them. If you're going to complain, go change it. If you don't like the way something is, if you don't like the status of it, go do something to change it, to make it better. And that's in all aspects of life. That's become part of my style, is taking action and helping other people take action. When you start to embrace your style in all areas of life, you will see other people will kind of join on board with you. Not like fair weather fans, but like attracts like. And when you start putting out positive energy and your true, authentic self into your style, into your work, other people are going to notice. Other people will talk to you more. They'll share more ideas. You'll get in fantastic conversations with people. In fact, I'm going to admit something here. That painting you see in the background, I actually bought that today. And when I was at the store, I went up to check out and I got in a fairly lengthy conversation with the person checking me out. And it started by making a joke to them. It's one of my favorite jokes. I use it. Feel free to use it. But when somebody asks you, how are you? I often will reply, better now that I'm here with you. And it just drops everyone's guard. And we started talking about everything. They then complimented my outfit and then asked what the photo was for, or the picture and painting. And, we got to talking about the podcast and then how they wanted to check it out. So just by making a joke, making someone smile, and embracing what I had to talk about and being myself and allowing myself to be goofy and vulnerable, I got another fan. And that's amazing. And thank you for watching and being here with me. When you embrace your style and you take those practical steps, starting small, being yourself, being kind to people, making them smile, it makes an enormous difference. And that's how you stay true to your style. Treat people kindly, treat people with respect, do whatever you're doing as best as possible. Do that. Don't try to solve all the problems of the world in one swoop. Those will come in time and with growth. The more you learn to embrace that style and stay true to it, the easier it gets. The more quickly and the easier it will be to say to these people, I don't have to listen to you. I'm going to do what I do. I know it's going to work. I know that I'm making other people happy by doing this service, by doing this work, whatever it is. Be true to yourself. Take those practical small steps. Start small. We'll have more episodes on the bigger swings later, but embrace your style, stay true to it, and just have fun. Thanks, and can't wait to see you next week.